Hey guys, JBZ here, and I just gotta say about one thing about Boruto is watching Boruto recently, it made me think about Shippuden in certain ways. And what I mean by that is like Shippuden had many flaws, and it seems as though Boruto is minimizing the amount of flaws they have in their show. They don't have nowhere near as many flaws. And I was actually debating if Boruto is actually better than Shippuden. And I came to the realization that yes, it is, unfortunately, which it made me realize how what Shippuden could have been if it was in the same style of Boruto. But I mean, again, it's too late for that. But I'm going to explain why I think that. So, number one, Shippuden major flaw is the side characters. Because we were excited from Neji, Rock Lee, all these characters. Hell, even my guy. Or these characters really didn't do much, and this is not just a side character thing. Just more even Sakura, because like even Sakura, she didn't really do much. Like what she does is basically in the beginning of Shippuden and the end of Shippuden. I'm not kidding. That's where her most impact. If we're talking about moment, sure, that's everywhere series, but most impact is the beginning and end, when she fights sorcery and when she fights Kaguya, and when she saves Naruto's life. But now in Boruto, Sakura is an amazing character. It really hurts to see what she could have been in Shippuden after seeing her development in Boruto because she is such a good character. How protective she is of Sarada, and the fact that like she still has that crush for Sasuke passing out, but at certain times she is independent and not always is relying on Sasuke, especially during that arc, the Shin Uchiha arc, where she didn't pay that much attention to Sasuke. She tried to put her most focus on Sarada, making sure she was the priority, and that's why I love she actually has a mind of her own, and I think that is something that Putin really lacked. She didn't really have much of a goal. Now she's like literally the head of medicine. She didn't even say she wanted to become the head of medicine in Shippuden, but now she is, and that is a sight that I actually like to see. And the second thing I should say that I do like about Boruto is the tactical aspect. And what I mean by that, because Shippuden kind of became a clusterfuck after midway, because it wasn't really about tactically how to strategically defeat your opponent. It was mostly about who had the biggest peen in the land, if we had more chakra and more jinjutsu, not no more ninjutsu, because jinjutsu is like completely forgotten in Shippuden. Like besides the infinite Tsukuyomi and that one ability, Shin Uchiha's ability, that is defeat Kabuto. There's really not much. There's really not that many Jinjutsu that's really impactful in Shippuden. Or tactical Jinjutsu in Shippuden. But in Boruto, it's entirely different. They are using scientific ninja tool, which it can give you an edge on how to be a better fighter. You don't always have to rely on your chakra, which would then allow people who are very shit, I guess, shit at using that chakra, like like Rock Lee was. They can use a scientific ninja tool that helps them to manipulate that chakra. And I think that's something that's incredible, and the fact that it's only exclusive to Konoha, that gives Konoha an incredible edge all over the other villages. And the fact that we developed this far in, that is an impressive feat. I will give it that. Now, as I say that, Boruto is still a great one. But the Asuki clan, man, I think that's the big one. I love the Asuki clan in Boruto. I think where they really screwed the pooch in Shippuden is the thing is Shippuden. Like if they had at least did hinted at the Asuki clan before dropping in them in out of nowhere, people wouldn't have minded. But the fact that we just dropping Kaguya out of nowhere, I don't understand why this is. Like Kaguya is not wasn't even that compelling. Now she is more compelling in Shippuden. Her when you know more about what she does. In the moment, she is more compelling, but you don't know why she's here, why she's doing this, why she wants the chakra for herself. You don't know any of that until Shippuden comes, until Boruto comes, or more specifically, the Boruto movie, and that's why I think this thing is actually more interesting because I think Kaguya should have been he honestly should have been the Boruto movie, and that because that movie could have been a setup for the Boruto show. That could have she should have just been a setup, and like after Madara died, and let's say for example in Shippuden, Madara dies. Madara dies to Sasuke and Naruto, and they have their final fight, and a few years afterwards, um, Kaguya appears, and the seal on her goes away, and she appears, and they had to fight her, and then they had to do some research and why the people are coming out of here all of a sudden. Because, like, for example, Ishiki is a character that we don't know why it took him this long, how he manage to survive for this long, especially since he didn't have the karma. So I don't know how he managed to survive for thousands of years. So it doesn't really. I don't even know how that's even possible. But I mean, I guess that's the answer that we'll never know because he's dead now. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. But you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the other thing that I don't really admire as much is Hokage Naruto because Hokage Naruto I do like. I do like he managed to reach his goal, but it it's just one of those things that like you would think for Naruto having the ability to do 1,000 clones, he would have more uh he would be more mobile. He would be able to do so many different things. I mean, he was in the war, and his clones were strong enough to contend against Madara. And seeing him being tired by work, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And I think that's honestly not that great. But it instantly gets replaced. But that aspect it instantly gets shoved to the side when we see Kid Naruto, and that's what the one aspect I do like. Whether you want to call the anime filler or not, since it's not in the manga, I don't really care about that because at least in the anime, we know layers. They have layers on these characters, which in the manga they don't really. It feels as though the manga is dead. Not literally, but the village is dead because we don't really see anyone else. We don't really see a lot of people in Konoha. Here we can see a lot of people. Like hell, even Tamari was fighting those puppets along with her son Shikadai. Like we see all these characters, these a vast array of characters that we genuinely love. And seeing the nostalgia aspect with Kid Naruto, Sakura, and Tamari, and even Jiraiya, that was the big one, Jiraiya. And that was an excellent sight to behold. And it actually makes sense. It actually works against it actually worked. And seeing how the fact that like Boruto was seeing how Naruto couldn't control the QB at that time, or Kurama at that time, and how it pertained to his situation in the manga, if you don't know, which I think is a beautiful compare and contrast, which I love. But I just think that Boruto, as a whole, Boruto has a better story than Shippuden. It if if it actually feels more Naruto than Naruto Shippuden, because at least because Shippuden was very serious. There was no uh funny moments how they would do it in OG Naruto. You couldn't relax, not take it seriously. It wasn't like that. But here, Boruto, it still is dark, especially when we get to later parts. But it still has that humor that OG Naruto always had, and that's what I love. And the female protagonist Sarda, like what she could do in the future, that is awesome to me. I think she has a very big potential, like I said, with Mangekyo, with all these different things. But it's possible she could go a different route from Sasuke, which I do think is the way they'll probably want to go because they don't want to use the same route they did for Sasuke. But who knows? I don't know what they could go with that character, which excites me because with Sakura, you already know her route, her development was basically just straight. There was no ups and downs. It was just straight the whole way through. There was nothing that changed for her character except for, like I said before, the end. Yeah, just the end. She didn't really develop. Yeah, just the end of the beginning. The beginning, she just developed. She developed her humongous strength. At the end, she repaired her relationship with Sasuke. That's basically it. I'm kind of sad now, but all right, whatever though. But all you need to know, Boruto is a great show. You need to watch it. I prefer it over the manga, but that's my preference. Tell me your preference, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Catch y'all later.